Well, I guess you have to give it to her that she's pretty unstoppable. She keeps going on producing new things, which, of course, as a somebody in the celebrity world, is what you have to do. So she's always making another step. But with Love and Meghan hasn't been, as far as I can see, a great success. I mean, it's been very highly criticised, and this one looks a little bit touchy-feely as well. It's one of those sort of awful things about, if you're going to watch a program about how people set up a small business and turn it into something fabulous, personally, I'd rather watch a real expert, who was tried and tested in the field, than somebody who swans in and sort of delivers herself of some sort of random thoughts. But that's just my opinion. I mean, the other one wasn't a success, and this one may or may not be. I suppose, if I'm being sort of logical, looking at it from afar, um, she has to keep trying. I mean, it is possible, I suppose, that if she does enough podcasts, eventually one of them will work. But this one doesn't look terribly exciting to me. But having said that, I guess you do just have to keep going. I suppose that is the message that comes out for the rest of us, whether we watch it or we don't. The thing is, if you go out into the public arena in the way that she's done, you are bound to inspire other people who've been there first to come forward saying, you're using my name, you're using my idea, we've already done this, or indeed with the cookery program, actually that doesn't work. You shouldn't be pouring boiling water onto pasta. We don't do that in Italy. We do it in a much better way. All those things happen. And this is where she's always going to be in a problem, I think, because of some of the things that she said in the past, which have been very contentious. There is a lot of hostility towards her. And there's also a lot of suspicion. What is she really up to? What is quite interesting is if you look at her in the Love Meghan thing, when she's all syrupy in the kitchen, and if you flick back and you watch her with sort of dark-eyed makeup in the Oprah Winfrey interview, sort of attacking the royal family and really with terrible allegations, it's almost two different people. So she is presenting herself in a completely different way. And I think that we are all rather suspicious of this and we wonder what's really going on. And it comes back to the same message all the time of endless reinvention. Where I would give her credit is that despite everything that people say and everything that people criticize her for, she keeps going. And as I say, that is kind of what you have to do in life. And so, maybe it'll work out, but you ask me my professional opinion, I don't think it will. Well, I do think she's spreading herself rather thin. And as for it being a cookery program, if it was a real cookery program, I would have liked to have seen, I don't know, even access to some sort of handsheet as to how you could actually create these dishes later on back at home. But we didn't get that. So I don't think it was about cooking at all. It was all about Meghan. It was Meghan wearing different outfits and swanning around in somebody else's kitchen, hardly ever wearing an apron as far as I could see, which I don't know about you, but most people in the kitchen, it's usually quite chaotic actually. And then sometimes good results come out. So it didn't really seem to be terribly genuine. And that's the worry. And then now we're going to get lots of conversations which we can listen into, I suppose, of her chatting to people who've succeeded and people who've failed. What are their tricks? What are their tumbles? She tells us. And apparently it's all going to be great fun. Well, wait and see. She's at the moment had more tumbles than anything else. But I think where she's in trouble is that the world is sort of rather turning against her. And for when she started out, I mean, if you actually go right back to the wedding, I mean, I can't tell you how excited everybody was when she came on the scene. And somehow she's managed to turn all that round, and all those horrible allegations that she made about the royal family, a lot of which have been withdrawn. And now she's not doing that. So obviously that didn't work very well in her favor. So she's trying out new ideas. But I think already it's sort of easier for people to criticize. And I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people have read I mean, it's the articles that those cookery programs inspired were some of them were very funny and they were very kind of, you know, um, it brought out a lot of kind of good writing in a way. I mean, at one point, I mean, for example, somebody called Hilary Rose wrote, I think, in the Times and said, picture the faces of the children when they go home with their goodie bag and they don't find a bit of cake inside it. They find some seeds in a decompostable pot in which to plant them. Won't they be disappointed? That sort of thing is being said. And, and with justification, I think, because when you watch a program, you really want to see something with substance. Now, this morning, Prue Leith was talking about a new show she's going, and I mean, she's been at it for years, and she is a very, very professional cook. And they asked her, would she be watching with Love Meg? And she said, no way she would be watching it. She said she didn't want to watch something which is all to do with. Actually, what she specifically mentioned was, people deciding what hand cream to wear and things. She wants substance, and so I think that's what the Love Meghan programs were lacking. It was all very superficial. And I just wonder how this podcast will be different.